And welcome to Buddhism Day by Day. And today I'm reading Welcome to Nichiren Buddhism, Your Questions Answered. You may be new to Buddhism or you need to refresh your memory, but this book is an introduction book about Nichiren Buddhism, and maybe even if you aren't a Nichiren Buddhist, that you can come along for the journey and understand when you see Nichiren Buddhism what it's all about. So, I'm going to start where we begin. And I think here, I'm just flicking through the pages. The first thing it comes up with, do you have a question? So, let's go, people, let's go. 8 centuries ago, Nichiren Daishonin, a Japanese sage, chanted Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, the teaching that aims to lead people to true happiness, for the first time on April 28, 1253. He had a small band of courageous followers who constantly sought to clarify their beliefs and strengthen their faith by asking questions. The Daishonin encouraged such a seeking spirit, and the tradition to question and clarify continues in the Sokogachi organization till today. You may have questions too about the practice, its purpose, why we chant, why it is important to attend meetings, and most crucially, what true and lasting happiness is. As Sokogachi International President Daisuke Ikeda believes, beginnings are crucial. If you do things correctly from the start, you'll be able to go on doing so. This handy little book attempts to provide answers to the most commonly asked questions, both by those starting out on their journey in the practice and those already on their way. We hope to clear your doubts so that you are able to chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo with conviction and joy and develop and expand your life. Having experienced the benefits of this practice for yourself, we hope you will help others do the same too and make one more life walk the path of true happiness. And that message was from the authors, the editors, November 2017. So, Chapter 1, on Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo. We start from the beginning, people. Anyway, what does Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo mean and how does it work? The primary practice of Nichiren Buddhism is to chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo. It is the fundamental mystic law that governs all phenomena in the universe. Everything in the universe, including our lives, trees, plants, animals, and the universe itself, is a manifestation of Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo. As the mystic law permeates all life, when chanted, it has the power to transform everything, including our destiny. Myoho-Renge-Kyo is the Japanese title of the Lotus Sutra, Sadhara Pundarika Sutra in Sanskrit. The highest teachings taught by Gautama or Shakyamuni Buddha. Nichiren Daishonin, the founder of the Buddhism who lived and taught in 13th century Japan, prefixed the Sanskrit word nam, meaning to devote oneself to the title. He established the practice of chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo to enable everyone to overcome their suffering by manifesting their inherent life condition of Buddhahood. Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo literally translates as, I devote my life to the mystic law of cause and effect. It encompasses all the principles expressed in Lotus Sutras, including the belief that all human beings possess the Buddha nature of Buddhahood. So, just a side note here, it says to break down each part of the chant, Nam derives from the Sanskrit word namu or namas, meaning to devote oneself. Myoho literally means mystic law, the eternal truth of principle that permeates all phenomena. Myoi is the name given to the mystic nature of law, and Ho is its manifestation. Renge means lotus flower. The lotus is the only flower that seeds and blooms at the same time, and so symbolizes the similarity of cause and effect. It also represents the inherent power of the human life to utilize suffering or problems, i.e. the mud, positively as nourishment to bloom as a beautiful lotus untainted by the muddy pond. Kyo literally means sutra, the voice of teachings of a Buddha. It also represents the entirety of life, or the entirety of life, sorry. So we'll carry on with the actual passage now. It says, when we chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, we are not pleading with an external being to act in our favour. Rather, we are repeatedly expressing our determined intention to win as we bring forth from within ourselves our highest life condition of Buddhahood. This is characterized by limitless hope, joy, courage, determination, strength, wisdom, and compassion. Our elevated life states and terms put us in rhythm with the universe, gives us hope and courage to challenge our circumstances and win support for our goals. It also gives rise to the wisdom to make the best decisions. President Aikida says we can be in rhythm with the universe 365 days of a year, in spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and manifest the life force, wisdom, and good fortune that enables us to surmount any problems or suffering. When we rev up the powerful engine of life force that is Buddhahood, we can break through any impasse and keep moving forward, boldly steering ourselves in the direction of hope and justice. So, what is the significance of chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo? Why not just meditate or think positively? When we chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, we are able to bring forth the power of the mystic law from within our lives. The microcosm of our individual lives harmonizes with the microcosm of the universe. We are able to directly harness the power of the universe in our lives and feel empowered. The Daisoshin writes, a mind now clouded by the illusions of the innate darkness of life is like a tarnished mirror, but when polished it is sure to become like a clear mirror, reflecting the essential nature of phenomena and the true aspect of reality. Arouse deep faith and diligently polish your mirror day and night. How should you polish it? Only by chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo on obtaining Buddhahood in this lifetime. This passage highlights the importance of chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo as the way of manifesting our inherent life state of Buddhahood. The Buddhist scriptures also say the voice does the Buddha's work. That is why we chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo aloud rather than performing a silent meditation. Words have their own power, and when we chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, we are speaking the language of the Buddhas. Our Dimoku, chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, activates our Buddhahood as well as the protective forces in the universe. Meditation and positive thinking have their own strengths in helping us train our mind and in calming it, but it is only through chanting Dimoku that we can reveal our highest life condition of Buddhahood. So, how does Nichiren Buddhism view karma? Can I change my karma by chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo? Karma is a Sanskrit word that means action and is created every moment through our thoughts, words, and deeds. It is a combination of effects from the good and bad causes we have made in this lifetime and in our previous lives. Karma shapes and influences both our present and our future. It manifests itself in our appearance, behavior, attitude, good and bad fortune, where we are born, in short, in everything about us. Nichiren Buddhism teaches us about the causality of life, explaining that the law of cause and effect, or karma, operates over the three existences of past, present, and future. And it is the cause of karma formed in past lifetimes that accounts for the different circumstances in which each one of us is born in this world. However, the Buddhist view of karma is not passive or fatalistic. Nichiren Daisoshin taught that through the power of faith we can transform even the most difficult and stubborn karma. While we cannot avoid the results of our actions in past lifetimes, We need not simply resign ourselves to the effects of our karma or destiny. Chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo is the cause for the calming of our karma. It has the fundamental power to transform heavy, negative karma accumulated from past lives and receive its effect in a much lighter form in this lifetime. For instance, suppose we met with an accident, but it is a very minor, and we don't suffer serious injuries. This could be an instance of receiving the effects of negative karma in a lessened form. We can think of many similar examples. Nichiren Buddhism also teaches the principle of lessening karmic retribution, that is, the grave negative effects of karma that we would have otherwise experienced in the future are transformed and received as minor effects in the present. It also assures us that we can completely transform our karma through our practice. Therefore, we need not be afraid of our karma and suffer on account of it. President Akita says, just as the myriad stars in the sky disappear when the sun rises, the unfathomable store of negative karma in our lives can be erased when we bring forth the life state of Buddhahood, lessening one's karmic retribution. And this is from the hope-filled writings of Nichiren Buddhism. Okay, so our practice also enables us to change our approach to karma and view it as our mission. When we chant, we summon forth the life state of Buddhahood and begin to see our problems as means of giving hope to others. In this life state, we are able to call forth extraordinary levels of determination, courage, and wisdom to triumph over our karma. So, will all my prayers be answered just by chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo? That's a very good question, isn't it? The universe and our lives are manifestations of the mystic law, Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo. Since we are all entities of the mystic law, when we chant Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, the entire universe gets activated towards fulfilling our prayers. The Daishonin writes, though one might point at the earth and miss it, though one might bind up the sky, though tides may cease to ebb and flow and the sun rise in the west, it could never come about that the prayers of the practitioner of the Lotus Sutra would go unanswered. We can be sure that all our prayers will be answered. This is more certain than the sun rising in the east each day. But the crucial thing is, are we practicing the Daishonin Buddhism correctly? Are we chanting with belief and conviction? It's the power of our faith and practice that determines our benefit. For instance, when we strike a bell, we're going to get a vastly different sound depending on whether we use a toothpick, a chopstick, or a bell striker to do so. The bell is the same, but if we hit it powerfully, it rings loudly. If we hit it weakly, it rings softly. So much depends on the quality of the striker and the manner of the striking, both of which are up to us to develop or improve with prayer. We also have to make efforts and take practical measures to ensure that our prayers are realized. And we do not just pray for ourselves, we learn to pray and take action for the happiness of others. President Akita says, if what you are praying for will truly contribute to your happiness and to your becoming a better person, it will be answered without fail. Even if you don't see the results immediately, it will in time become apparent. Conversely, this also means that none of our negative prayers will be answered, and even if we do start with a negative prayer, with our chanting, our mind will turn positive. Wow. So we have one more question before this chapter ends, and it says, how much Daimoku do I need to do? So, there is no specific amount of Daimoku that we must chant. Now, if you didn't understand what Daimoku was, it means Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo. It's chanting. The Daishonin also does say anything about this in his writings. What is more important is to chant to our heart's content. President Akita says, we practice Buddhism so that we can become happy. The main thing is that each of us is left with a sense of deep satisfaction after chanting Daimoku. There are no hard and fast rules about having to chant a certain number of hours. The most important thing is that our Damuku be personally satisfying and refreshing so that we can explain when we finish, that was really good. However, the more we exert ourselves in chanting Damuku, the more we stand to benefit. It's the same as 500 rupee note getting us much more than a 100 rupee note. And consistency is important. However, there is no need to become anxious and put unnecessary pressures on ourselves. So I hope that made sense to you, and we'll be back tomorrow with chapter 2, and it's called On Prayer. So till tomorrow, take care.